Stranger walks up to you and asks to take your picture, you probably greet them with a little bit of skepticism, and rightfully so. I mean, who knows what they'll do with it? But in Over-the-Rhine, there is a photographer who does just that. He walks up to you and asks to take your picture. I sat down with this roaming photographer to find out why. It's Saturday in Over-the-Rhine, a beautiful Saturday at that. And for this eclectic neighborhood, that means people, and lots of them walking the streets.
There it is.
And on a day like this, you can bet you'll find a man wearing a camouflage jacket, carrying a camera, searching for...
I just know it when I see it.
Something, or rather someone.
Lean in.
As a matter of fact, he might find you first.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry to bother you.
And while he may be a stranger to some,
1, 2, 3.
others easily recognize the roaming photographer.
I get a quick print? Yeah. I've been on your page before. Thank you, thank you.
Frank Jones, or Gypsy Frank as most call him, takes pictures of people on the streets of Cincinnati. It's that simple, finding what he thinks are some of the most interesting characters, people we would simply walk by without second thought. Would you describe yourself as a street photographer?
More of a fine art photographer.
Okay.
But a lot of my photography happens in the street, so if someone refers to me as a street photographer, I'm not opposed to that.
Why Gypsy Frank?
Because I move around. I'm always moving. I'm looking for the next picture, the next person. Over-the-Rhine is the only neighborhood in Cincinnati where you find people walking, which is how I make my pictures. I take pictures of people on the streets. So you'll see a picture in a couple of weeks. Thank you. People who come to the neighborhood or live in the neighborhood tend to be a lot more open and a lot more open to the idea of being photographed. I kind of stumbled into it.
We got up with Gypsy Frank and OTR at one of his resting spots when he's not roaming the streets. Camera still in tow, just in case the rain lets up. What makes one stick out to you?
I don't go out looking for specific things.
Okay.
I have found that when I go out looking for specific things, I never find it. I'm not looking to photograph the character.
Yeah.
I'm looking for authenticity within emotion. A young lady I photographed like a month ago. She was having a very bad day. She said, "You can photograph me if you can show that I was crying the night before." She's still in her mood, in her funk. And that's apparent in the photograph. And that's a realness and that's an authenticity that I look for. I know when someone's being a character, you know, like they want to get noticed, they want the attention. And then I know when someone's being their natural, unassuming self.
Natural and unassuming. That would describe my first encounter with Gypsy Frank. And I had no makeup on, and I had a headscarf on.
You had a head wrap?
Yeah, I remember.
You were shopping that day.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, we're about to take this picture, and I got nothing on, but people loved it.
I actually chased you down the street because you were pretty much on your way gone. And I'm like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
There have been comparisons of Gypsy Frank's work to that of Brandon Stanton, the photographer behind the now nationally recognized Humans of New York project.
Here we go, 1.
But for Gypsy, he'd rather the story lie in the picture. In his words, "Oh, you got her with her eyes open big." You don't know what's going on before or after the frame.
I don't tell people stories.
You don't even get their names.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, unless it's somebody like I really want to photograph again.
Yeah.
But I don't want to influence how people look at the pictures.
Yeah.
You know, we have our own views on politics, on relationships, on how to be fathers, how to be mothers, you know, how to be children. And all of these things affect, you know, what you read.
Yeah.
And what you read affects how you can look at an image.
And in every image, he wants the subject to see themselves. Nothing more, nothing less.
I want people to see my fellow Cincinnati citizens, that, you know, we are no different than people from other cities. Me taking a picture of them does not validate their existence or who they are. You know, they are because they are. You know, I'm just kind of bearing witness to it. 1, 2, 3.
One more time, Frank. And not to be a character, but this time, I was prepared. Charisse Gibson, Fox 19 Now. All right, loved having fun with Gypsy Frank. Okay, so he can usually find Gypsy Frank's pictures on his Instagram page. It's growing quite a following. That page is gypsy.frank on Instagram. All right, it's 9.